What's happening, guys? This is going to be a video of a different type. I don't do many videos like this. You'll understand as time goes on. But before we get into it, look at this graph. This graph shows that almost 80% of you watching my videos are not subscribed. Guys, let me explain something. The YouTube algorithm works kind of on a weird basis. The more you like and the more you subscribe to a channel, the more recognition that channel gets from YouTube. And they recommend the videos more often to more people. And when you don't, I have an average of 300 views, and I get an average of, 20 to 30 likes. Guys, come on. When you click on this video, like it automatically. It's not hard. You find the like button and you click it. The more likes the video gets, the more recognition it gets from YouTube. And the more subscribers you get, the more recognition the channel gets from YouTube. So please like the video. I would like it if this video could get 100 likes. That's not too much to ask with 3,100 subscribers. I think 100 likes is a reasonable request. So please, if you click on this video and you've never watched this channel before, please click the video. Please click the like button. And if you like the content in this video, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, if you are new to the channel, my name is Brian and you're watching. So what are we going to do today? Well, this video has a little bit of a backstory. I have a customer that here a while back was doing some spring cleaning, even though it wasn't spring, and they were cleaning out their garage. Well, they found a piece of equipment that was buried in a bunch of stuff that they didn't even remember they had. And the next time we went to service the yard, the gentleman came out the door and said, "Hey," he said, "I got something you might need to look at. This might be something you can use." And he showed it to me, and he said, "I bought it from a yard sale." He said, "I have no clue if it even works." And he said, "But if you want to take it and try it, you're more than welcome to it." And I said, "Sure, I'll give it a whirl." Well, that was late last summer. And I just haven't had a chance to get to it. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing today. So stick around. It's going to be different. This is going to be kind of a will it start, will it run, and we're going to see where it goes. So stick around. Remember, you can find me right here on Instagram and Facebook at Big South Outdoors TV. Remember that and find me there and follow me, please. So I'm going to get set up. We're going to get going. Y'all stick around. So what am I talking about? Well, late last summer, one of my customers went to a yard sale and they bought this, what I'm fixing to show you. And right after that, their health kind of took a turn for the worst, turned south, however you want to say it, no pun intended. And they made the decision that it might be better to get me to do the stuff that they normally would do, because they didn't want to, number one, they didn't want to hurt themselves. Number two, they didn't want to make themselves worse. And so he decided it would be better to just leave that kind of stuff to me. So what am I talking about? Well, this is it right here, guys. If you have watched my channel any at all, you know I run a stihl HL94. And I have said many times that I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's really, really good. It really shines when you're having to reach out really far. It's got that articulating head. But the overall length of that thing is like 7.5 feet. Well, when you're trying to hold the trigger, see, the one thing that I don't like about that machine is it doesn't have a throttle lock. And this one doesn't appear to have one either. Well, maybe so. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't have a throttle lock. And I wish that is something that stihl would change. Because when you're having to hold the shaft and you're having to reach way out, it is so heavy and so cumbersome that it's hard to handle. And I mean, and I'm not bragging, but I'm not a weak person by any means. And it's hard to handle, not because it's heavy. Now, the further out you go and you're holding it here, the more weight is out there, the harder it is to handle, the heavier it gets. And the less time you can use it without your arms and your hands and your fingers and your shoulders getting fatigued. So he looked at this one and said, is this something you can use? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, does it run? He said, I have no clue. He said, it's been buried in my garage this whole time. He said, and I decided to clean my garage out. He said, and I found it. He said, I don't even know if it runs. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I bought it at a yard sale, garage sale, however you want to say it. And he said, I brought it home and put it in here, and you can see all the hay and the grass and everything. He had this sitting in there with his old push mowers and stuff. He had this buried in the back corner of his garage where he has rabbits and hamsters and things like that, and he had the cages and stuff. Well, you can see where all that debris ended up. I mean, it's all over the place. And it's been sitting in my barn over there for probably, well, since late September of last year. And I don't know if it runs. I don't know if it has spark. I don't even know if it has compression, but that's what we're going to find out today. We're going to see if we can get this thing running. And I already see one problem, and I think I've got a solution to it, but we're going to find out. But if you look right there, you'll see the primer bulb is busted. It is not going to run like that. So that's the first thing on the agenda. Well, that's the second thing. The first thing is see if we can get this thing cleaned off. So if you'll bear with me a minute. Good Lord. This thing is piled full. I'm beginning to wonder if this thing is going to run. If it's got compression, it's still got fire, we can replace that primer bulb. If the carburetor is not completely stopped up, we might be able to do something with this thing. Let's hope so. But I mean, you can tell by what I'm having to do here, it's been sitting a long time. And I don't mean 25 years, I mean long time for a piece of lawn equipment. I'm going to inspect it as soon as I get it clean to see if there's anything else it needs that I don't have, and we'll go from there. But I want to make sure I get everything clean. I do, in full disclosure, I do have a carburetor for this thing if it needs it. I'm hoping it won't, but we'll see when we get there. So let me put this down. And get this mess cleaned off where I can have a somewhat decent surface to work with. Alright, let me get it back up here. Now, if any of you guys out there know anything about the Echo HC185 hedge trimmer, put it in the comments below and let me know, because I have no clue. I'm going to try to get it running, but other than that, I don't know anything about it. So, but before we'll know if it'll run or not, there's the throttle or the choke. Cold start, run. Okay, I'm not even going to bother with the primer bulb right now. I'm going to check and see if it's got compression and fire, and then we'll know what we're dealing with. Good Lord, that thing's tough. See if I got a small pair of pliers in here. I I got them bad mamma, the big mamma jammas, and then these. I might be able to get this one in there and pull it off. There we go. Now, what size? Oh Lord, I don't know if I don't think. Let me see if this stihl tool will fit it. It fits. Oh Lord, I didn't like the sound of that. Good night. Oh, that's too much. Well, that loosened it up. Just need a little bit of persuasion. I'm gonna put my specs on so I can inspect this spark plug. It's got gas on it, that's for sure. Spark plug actually looks pretty good. I'll clean it with a wire brush, and then we'll see what we got from there. Now let me put my finger right there and see what kind of compression we've got. Oh, we got compression. Oh yeah, we got compression. All right, I'm back. Got my trusty steel brush, and I'm gonna show you what the spark plug looks like up close. That's what it looks like up close. I don't want to get it too close to the camera because it will distort the image. But I'm gonna clean it right quick, and we're gonna see what we've got as far as spark goes. Now the way I clean a spark plug, I don't want my fingers getting prickled with those bristles. So I hold it like that, and that way I can get a good firm hold on it, and I can, well, now, there we go. My Lord, there's a lot of traffic today. Now, a helpful tip, that gap looks good. There we go. A helpful tip, I'm not going to do it on camera because it really doesn't need it. But when you have a flooded out plug and a flooded out cylinder, the best way to get the cylinder not to unflood, so to speak, is you pull it like that, and that sucking that air in. You have to do it quite a few times, but it will dry that cylinder out enough to where it will fire if it's flooded. Now what I do with the spark plug, I take one of those long lighters and I light it, and I just hold it like this and twirl it and let the flame heat that spark plug up, and it will burn off that gasoline. But it's not dangerous. It won't explode. But because, I mean, you're putting a direct flame to it, it's not going to explode. I've done it 1,000 times. And you know, when you're out in the field, when I say out in the field, I mean on a job. When you're on a job out in the field, whatever you want to call it, I swear I've never seen this much traffic on this road this time of day. This is crazy. But anyway, you can very easily, I've done it 1,000 times, when you're out there and you've got no way to prevent or to speed up the process, take a lighter and heat up your spark plug and burn that gas off and put it back in there, and it should fire. But what I'm going to do now, and this is going to be the tricky part, because this spark plug wire is so short, you don't really have a good place to ground it to where you can see it. This metal, should I say, because the sleeve that goes into the spark plug hole is metal, but the block itself is aluminum. So what you have to do, what I do anyway, I'll take this and I'll lay it like that to where it's on that metal part, and then you take your channel locks, because this is metal, the sleeve inside the cylinder's metal, and you don't want to stick it up in there so far that it actually touches and hits the piston. You don't want to do that. And you don't want to mess up the threads either. So you get that like that. You turn the spark plug where you can see you put it like that. And you don't want to shock yourself, but you do have to kind of ground it together like that. Now you pull. Oh yeah, it's firing. Hawk, yeah, it's firing. And you pull it back out. You put your spark plug in there because it's been cleaned. Now you know you've got fire. And guys, I know this is going to be kind of a lengthy video, but I'm hoping and I'm praying that at the end of it, it'll be worth the time. There we go. Had to get the angle of my fadangle right. Now, when you're putting a spark plug in, you do not have to kill it. And what I mean by that, when you turn it, you come back and you turn it again. You come back and you turn it. You just keep doing that until it snugs up. I thought it wasn't in there as far as I thought it was. There we go. Now, you make sure it's snugged up. Like it's snugged up. Then you just turn it about like that. That's all you need. You don't have to over tighten it. As tight as it was before, that was too much. Now, we know we've got fire. We don't know if the carburetor's going to work, and we can't find that out until we replace the primer bulb. Somebody over there in a race car. So, let me look in my little box down here. Well, before I go any further, let's see. I'm going to do a comparison. My Stihl HL94, that big long trimmer, it weighs, I think it weighs, I weighed it the other day. What did it weigh? It weighs 14.5 pounds. I had to remember. 14.5. Well, actually, it was about 14.526, something like that. So it weighs just a little over 14.5 pounds. So I've got Flossie's postal scale because she does a lot of shipping. So I'm not going to put it on the joint because I don't want there to be no give. I'm going to turn it on. Let it zero out. There we go. I'm going to lay this, make sure none of this is prohibiting the proper weight. I'm going to put it on here like this. Hold on, let me balance it. There we go. Okay, got it on hold. I'm not going to tell you what it weighs. I'm going to show you what it weighs. I'm going to make sure it's in the shot. Make sure you can see it. It weighs 12.107 pounds. 12 pounds, 1 ounce. 101 ounces. So, there you go. It's significantly lighter than the HL94. And the reason for that is it's not that big. Now, I'm going to take the overall measurements of this thing. From the handle where you hold it is 4 feet long, and the blade itself from the bearing housing to the end of the blade is 31 inches. So this is a 31-inch trimmer. That's how they classify it. Excuse me, I got to prime the pump. But anyway, so I'm gonna get this primer bulb changed, and we'll come right back. Okay. Now, I bought this kit off of Amazon quite a while ago, and I'm gonna take everything out. There's the spark plug, and here's a new carburetor right here. Here's a new fuel filter. The line comes with a fuel filter and a new air filter, a spark plug, the carburetor. Now this is an aftermarket carburetor, but it is the one for this machine. And it comes with the return line, the vent line, the fuel filter, everything. It comes with everything. And it comes with a different style fuel filter if that's what is in this machine. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that the only thing I need to change is the primer bulb. Have I tried to start this thing? I put a little bit of gas in it when I first got it and pulled on it. It wouldn't do anything. And I put it away. I didn't mess with it any further until just now. Now, you may ask, Brian, your cutting season's over. Why are you doing this now? Well, spring is just around the corner. I don't know if you can see that tree. Let me put the camera on it. Look at this tree, guys. Spring is just around the corner. Now, has it hit yet? No, it has not. So what I'm doing now is prep work for the upcoming season that I won't have time to do then. And this will be another weapon in my arsenal for when I'm working around small areas that I don't have room to use that HL94. I can use this. And so that's why I'm doing this, especially now. So now you see me doing this. This is why I don't wear hats. So let me see. I need a Phillips screwdriver. And no, I'm not trying to make fun of nobody that talks with a lisp. I'm just doing that to lighten the mood. Is that one too big? No, it's not. It's perfect. Now.
Might be better if I put on my specs. Yes, I'm that age. You know what? Let me turn this around where you guys can see what I'm doing. I may end up having to take the air filter off there. I don't know. Yeah, I believe I'm going to have to. You know what? I hadn't cracked this thing open to see what the air filter looks like. Well, daggone. It looks almost brand new. Alright. I'm hoping I can just loosen this up, because this is taking the carburetor off too. I'm hoping I can just loosen this up. There, yep, that's it. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. I bought that carburetor kit because it comes with everything I could possibly need to hopefully get this thing running. Now, you get it loose, and you just simply... Oh, that screw's not completely detached. It is now. Well, hold on a minute. Let me do this. I can get these screws out. These three, and then slide this thing out like this. Oh Lord, there was a big piece of trash right there. That's probably why the thing wouldn't crank. I mean, that's the fuel inlet. That's the fuel to the engine, to the carburetor. That's from the big one's from the fuel. No, I'm sorry. This one's from the fuel tank. This one goes to the engine, and the one to the engine was where'd that piece go? Come out wherever you are. Well, I know. I just saw the thing. Well, it just disappeared. Yeah, that primer bulb is gone. It's got all kinds of trash in it.
Guys, I'm thinking I'm just going to take this carburetor off and put this carburetor on, because I don't, as much junk as I'm finding in this thing, I don't think it's going to run. And there's no reason to do this twice. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off and replace this rascal very carefully. Good Lord, it's a long screw. Okay, I need to mark that, make sure I got it in the right spot. Okay, the brown mark goes on the front. That's how we'll know. Because when you're seeing the symptoms that I'm seeing right here, there's no reason to not replace the carburetor, because that carburetor is probably plugged up, gummed up, and everything else. Now, you got your throttle table right here, and it's got to detach. Of course it does. It's got to detach from that. So let me. I'm probably gonna. Let me see. I might be able to get it with the channel locks. I'm not sure. Or a pair of pliers might do it. Let me give it a whirl. ain't got to be real loose. It's just got to give enough to get it off. It's turning. But it is being cantankerous. As my daddy used to say, I ain't being cantankerous. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bend it. There's a hold nut, and then there's this one. Oh, Lord, that thing's tight. You know what? I'm gonna go get a wrench, guys. I'll be right back. Wait. If you've ever watched my videos and you've heard me say it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, well, this is one of them times. I should have known it. At one point or another, I was gonna need a wrench. So now I've got to decipher which size wrench that is, or which size I'm gonna need. And that is a 11/32, and that ain't it. I bet you money it's a 10mm. Yeah, what did I say? What did I say? All right. Like I said, you just need to loosen it enough to get it off that carburetor. That should do it. Yep. All right. Now, when you're doing something like this, you want to inspect your fuel lines. Let me take the cap off here and see if they need to be replaced. Yeah. It's the same grommet. That's the breather there, the vent. Got the black one, the yellow one. You know what? Let me just go ahead and pull this thing out. I might as well, if you're going to do it right. I need a flat tip screwdriver. There we go. Yeah, see, that's got rust on it. And this way you're putting a new fuel filter on it. You're putting a new vent on it. You're putting everything brand new. If it don't run out, it means there's something wrong with the inside of the engine. So what you need to do, you see all that debris right there? Let me get my brush here. And there's going to be some get in the gas tank when you do this, but that's fine. You can... The gas tank is completely dry. I just do the bump method. And got it all out. There we go. So, now, you got the old one off. Let me put this new one and put the cap back on because I don't want no debris getting in the gas tank. I really hope this thing runs, guys. I swear. Got some rust right there. But, I mean, this thing is... I don't even know how old this thing is. I really don't. But look at there. It's got a zerk fitting right there for the gearbox. I'm going to open that up and check it out, too. So, you stick the new fuel filter in there. And then what you have to do with it, drum it, because it's hard to get to. Hard to get in there. And rightfully so, it's supposed to be hard, it's because it's supposed to seal. You gently massage that rascal in there. Here, let me try it from this. Let me try it this way, going from the bottom and working my way around the top, like that. Almost got it. Almost. Right. All right. It was not my plan to have to do all this, but it is what it is. This has got a brand new primer bulb. It'll have a brand new carburetor, brand new fuel filter. Now let me see. Yeah, that's the front. So the yellow line goes here, and it's just friction hold. There's no clamps to it. I need a smaller pair of pliers, but I don't want to have to take the time having to. One more ought to do it. Well, one more ought to do it. I got it. Now, put this one. Oh, this one's going to be tough. That's a big rascal right there. I might end up having to put some petroleum of some kind on this to get it on there. That's good. Now that's on. So, the vent goes to the bottom. Now, I am going to put a new air filter in this thing, even though that one looks perfect. There's nothing. You can see completely through it. You know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that air filter, so I'm going to leave it alone. Now, let me put this back on and get it connected. There we go. Now, you have to, you know what? I'm going to pull this back out, get this connected first, then put it down here, slide it in place, and then tighten it up. We know we got fire. We're fixing to have a brand new carburetor, brand new fuel lines, brand new primer bulb, brand new fuel pump. So, I mean, no, not fuel pump, fuel filter. So, this does not have, well, yes it does too. Oh Lord, I almost forgot this. Lord, please let me be able to get this off without tearing it up. I'd rather have a putty knife. Because it is on, did I tear it? No, I didn't. I think Nate's fixing to burn the boxer dog out. No. That's Flossie. Hey, Flossie. All right. Now put this back on like that. You might have to be an octopus to do this. I kid you not. There we go. Now, take your screwdriver. Another car. Got about 5 different parts. You gotta get in line. Now, gotta get this joker back up in here, get them bolt through it. There we go. Wrong tip, Brian. I will say this. Manufacturers do not make equipment mechanic friendly. They just don't. And the reason why is because the engineers that design it are not the ones that are having to work on it when it breaks down. All right, now I'm going to inspect this thing. Where's my cover? Man, I don't know what in the world he had this thing around, but dear Jesus, it was covered. All right, that's cold start. That's on, see, that's stop, so that's run. I think we're ready to put gas in it. I will keep this carburetor and clean it out at some point to see if it's any good. What I normally do to clean the carburetor like this out, I take it apart, I blow it out, make sure there's no journals clogged, and then I set it in a small bowl that I can spray enough carb cleaner in it to completely submerge it, and I let it soak for a few days. Then I take it out, I blow it out again, I let it dry, and then I put it away. And then the next time I need it, if it's not clogged, I put a new diaphragm down here, of course, and then because see, this is a Chinese carburetor. Here's the numbers right here. But anyway, this one here fit right on it. So I'm gonna put a little bit of gas in this thing. We're gonna see if it'll fire up. I have noticed one thing, and I'll say this very quickly. I have noticed that on my channel, at least, product introductions or product repairs seem to do really well. If you haven't as of yet, please follow the instructions to come. So I am going to take this off. That ought to be enough to crank it. Because what I'm going to do, if I get it cranked, I'm going to run it out, and then I'm going to dump the gas out of it, and I'll put it up until I need it. So it says cold start, so let's prime it, see if it primes. Oh, we got prime. Now guys, I've never started this thing before, so I don't know what it's going to do. But we're fixing to find out. I tell you the truth, I don't even know how to hold it, because I've never had a hedge trimmer like this before. So I'm just going to grab it like this and see what happens. Oh my God, it runs! Holy crap! Holy crap! Okay, I think it needs a little bit of adjustment because it won't idle. But hey, it cranked! Okay, let me turn the idle screw. That might be what's wrong with it. Hold on. Because it's not even touching. Try it now. Uh-oh. I might have spoke too soon. Oh Lord. On a loud motorcycle. It'll crank and run, but it won't idle. And everything on it is brand new. What did I do with my... Oh, there it is. On the floor. Try that. Alright guys, I think I got it figured out. I had to take the carburetor back off. And the reason why I did is because the gasket that was on this carburetor here is a different gasket than came with the kit. And with the kit there was two of them, which means the one's supposed to go back here and one's supposed to go over here, up here. Well, this carburetor did not have a gasket on behind here, and I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing, behind the air filter housing. So I took it back off, I looked at it, I looked at the diagram and got them lined up right. So that should solve my problem. I'm hoping it does anyway. So we're going to put the air filter back on, if I can. There it is. Put the air filter back on, and we're going to fire it up and see what it does. Because it was obviously sucking air. It would rev up, but it wouldn't idle. So we're going to see what it does. Okay, it's on run. Let me move my chair back because I don't want to fall over it. It's on run here. Still won't idle. I hope this is the last time I have to do this. Y'all, I'm grumbling to myself. Before I crank this thing up and see if it's going to run, I took the carburetor back off again, and I laid out the gaskets to see, not with the compare with the carburetor, but to compare with the block. And that block, and when I say the block, I don't mean the engine block. I mean this black piece right here. It has vent holes in it. And what they're for, I don't know, but they obviously serve a purpose. This one, although there's a hole right here, it was off the mark of where the vent hole was, and it wasn't allowing it to do its job, I guess. So I took the old gasket and I lined it up with the block, and then I laid the carburetor up against it, and it fit perfectly. So I put it back on, and then I put the gasket that's supposed to be in here. It's real simple. I mean, it's a square like this with one hole through the center. And then you got your bolt holes. That's it. It was plain as the nose on your face that was the gasket for this one. So, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to check and find out here in just a second. I hope and pray that it runs. And when you're doing stuff like this, especially a piece of machinery you've never worked on before, it's trial and error. I mean, it really is. It's trial and error. So I don't need my glasses to see if this thing's gonna crank and run. Let me do a check. It's on run here. It's on run here. It's got gas in it. Got a spark. I checked the spark arrestor. It was clean. Got the old gasket put on and got it turned the way it's supposed to be. The spark plug is good. So, let's try it. Cross your fingers. Say a prayer. You talking to me? You talking to me? Ha ha! Got it! Hot dog! Yes! It runs good too. Cut it off, and I'm gonna put the camera over there on some bushes or on some tree limbs, and I'm gonna see how this rascal cuts. Alright guys, I don't know if this thing will crank without the accelerator being depressed, but we're gonna find out. Yep. Well, we got it going. I cannot believe that. But anyway, I'm going to get my mess cleaned up and I'll be right with you guys. But anyway, that's going to do it. This has been an adventure. It's been trial and error. But I tell you the truth, I have enjoyed it. I did not know whether or not there was life left in this thing or not. Well, now I know that there is. I just had to put a little bit of time into it and figure a couple things out, and you see it runs perfect. It doesn't lope, it doesn't, doesn't misfire, doesn't do anything. It cranks up, runs, and cuts. And that's all you can expect. That's all you can ask. So anyway, if you've made it this far in the video, guys, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until we meet again, folks, have a good one.